here at Coburg City Oval. That's going to the right of your screen if you're watching on video. That's the Harding Street end. But we'd also make a footnote and say Darebin have not been defeated in 27 games.
They haven't. And if there's any day that you're going to get them, it might as well be today. And can I just make a note, Pete, to say that Astra O'Connor is wearing the most orange boots I've seen in the world ever.
She's stopping traffic
from space.
She's stopping traffic with them. As the umpire just waits for the great crowd that has shown up here today. It has been truly a magnificent crowd that's come through the gate all day, and I'll be here if there's not 2,000 people here today that have come through the gate to watch all three grand finals. In fact, the crowd's on the other side of the ground, which sometimes you don't even see during the VFL games here. So it's a very good attendance, and to get us underway for the second term, it's Dan Hill.
So ball to be tossed up, and it's a low throw up, and that makes it easy for O'Connor because Corrigan hadn't got near it, but she tapped it straight to Corrigan. So Corrigan said thank you very much and kicked it towards half forward. It's a bouncing footy. There's been a lot of bad bounces in today's grand finals. The players can't take a trick now. Chochi sharked it in the right hand, kicked it towards full forward. A bounce might be handy here for Gretsch. She gathered it almost on the goal line, rushed behind Chiera. There was only one place she was going. The Diamond Creek get their first score, margin cut to 21 points.
Only metres away from a perfect start there, Diamond Creek. They needed that first clearance. They needed that. We were talking about that at quarter time. Perfect start for Diamond Creek.
And that's on the Cotton scoreboard, and Kiara White made the most of that contest and forced the ball over the boundary line and out of bounds. 35 metres out from the Diamond Creek goal. They're heading towards the Harding Street end. And Corrigan versus O'Connor. Ball went out the back. Chochi tries to lay a tackle on Pearce. Pearce gets wrapped up by Corrigan. And the umpire calls for a bounce inside the forward 50, 30 metres out from goal. Up in the air we go again. Corrigan versus O'Connor. Sharked by Paxman, who put it out towards the wing position. Foot race on here. First to it's probably going to be Charlotte Dillon. She is. She got caught but got her hand pass away. Tyndall now with her head over the football. Got her hand pass to Hammond, who got mown down. And the umpire says that's a free kick going the way of the Creekers.
So I think it's Byer over there on the outer side. Kicked into the centre. Haynes just dropped what she should have taken now. Chochi's in there. She's claimed without an umpire. Just because she doesn't play for Darebin means she can get a free kick. And now come in and ball it up. She was held for a month. And the umpire was not interested. Ball tossed up centre half forward. Creekers in attack. O'Connor, beautiful tap over the back. Paxman sharked it only as far as Haynes, who had another fumble. Now a chance here for Hicks. Got a handball back to Haynes, who goes wide, but only as far as Lang. Oh, the bounce evaded everyone. Now at the back, getting it forward there is Amelia Barden inside the attacking zone for the Creekers. That's holding the footy. Hogan had it, lost it, dumped. In fact, it was Mel Hickey. No, it was actually Tracy Ashby. Now the play on, straight to Chochi. Snap from directly in front. Is it coming back enough? Oh, just a rush of blood there. And the one behind to the Creekers. So on the Cotton scoreboard, it is the Creekers.
Should be two behinds. The scoreboard's one behind here. So someone, maybe Anthony Sackets, will have to run around, do the jog and say, oi, you're one behind.
You've got to give them a chance to update. Two behind.
Oh, no, it was blank, and now they've just put it to one. That's what I'm saying. The kick is brought. I'm on the money, boy. I'm on the money. Whoops. As they go along towards the half-back flank, O'Day got knocked over. Sending it back, but once it came, the Creekers, a long kick. Wasn't great for Cross. Out of bounds on the full. You can sense the Creekers are attacking Katie Lambeski, but they're just not making it stick.
They're blazing away. A couple of times they've just gone long into the 50. They need to just slow it down for a second and then really build into going 50 and really making it count.
Oh, geez, at the back. Here's a quick little hand pass and snap on goal from 35 metres out towards the top of the square. Gretsch is there, went off her back and through for a point. Oh, they're racking away. Three behinds for Diamond Creek. They trail by 19 points. Darebin 3-4-22 on the Cottons VWFL Premier Division scoreboard. So
Chiera will have the kick out. And she goes very wide towards right half back, and O'Day comes out and takes the mark. So O'Day looking to go through the centre of the ground towards Hickey. He was forced to punch, and then the ball landed in her arms, and then a poor handball from her as a turnover. Now it's a chance for Audley inside the attacking zone, coming out to CO. Should have taken the mark and didn't. Now she's under the pump. 45 out from her defensive goal. Shovels it out the back. Pearce kicked it backwards. Almost could be a deliberate, because she's kicked it from probably 45 out from her defensive goal, off the side of the boot, and it's gone over the line, 25 out, the forward pocket, and that's her back pocket. Interesting little bit of play.
The pressure's really telling at the minute. You can see Darebin really, you're seeing Darebin dropping uncharacteristically, dropping marks, really opening the door for Diamond Creek to get back into this. Excellent start by Diamond Creek.
O'Connor versus Corrigan in this contest. Corrigan using good work of the body, put it straight down the throat of Saxton, who runs on and has a ping at goal. How is this look? It's Scott Creekers first. Put that one down. I think it might be Lamb that might have rode that. Indeed it is. And Kirsty Lamb gets her first. And it's 139 for Diamond Creek. And they trail the Falcons 3-4-22. That is on the Cotton scoreboard.
She might have the awkward kicking style, Kirsty Lamb, but when you burst onto it like that, Cody, it doesn't make an iota of difference.
No, not at all. And it's good to see Diamond Creek rewarded for the positive attacking start to the game. They really needed to this half, of course. They really needed to do that. They really needed to get on the front foot here, and they just have done that.
Ernst in the ruck won the tap. She's had the wood over O'Connor so far, but O'Connor won the clearance, but only as far as Nicole Paul, who loads it up on the left towards half forward, fisted away from Kiara White. Now a chance to go inside the attacking zone. The Creekers with the run at the moment. Gretsch flew up, couldn't take the mark. For the footy, Gretsch off the ground to the top of the goal square. All the numbers, though, are for the Falcons. Beautiful shrug tackle there from Siobhan Hogan. She gets a little kick away and a chance here for the Falcons to clear. Taking a bounce around the wing there was, I think it might have been Wood, who didn't have much to go to. Worked up to the wing. Ducking in there was Audley. Umpire wave play on. Now Lamb on the left. Oh, only as far as Pearce at half back, and they're away here, the Falcons.
And Pearce gets the kick away before she got bumped by Chochi, put it in towards the central corridors. A little toe-to-toe was going on there. Fratelli knocked a player over in the meantime. Hand pass out by O'Connor. Sets it up now. Here's O'Day kicking in towards the forward line. Brennan had one hand on it, couldn't control it. Hetherington now goes in there, tries to extract it. She's on the ground, scrapping in hard. They're going to call for a ball up. Fratelli locks up the player, and we'll have it 25 metres out for the Darebin goal. Geez, that's the one thing the Creekers don't want to do, put it in the central corridor when Pearce is lurking around.
Here she is again. Doesn't get the hard ball. Got the handball away on this occasion. Hetherington went in, had it, lost it, dumped. Now Brennan, she got away. Then a little handball back to O'Connor, who kicks from 45 into the breeze. It stands and holds up in the breeze and is touched on the last line. And it will register just the minus score. Taking the margin out to 15 points on the Cotton scoreboard as Hetherington, yes, it is Hetherington, restarts the game quickly. Out wide, O'Connor couldn't take the mark there for the Falcons. It's on the centre wing. The ball bounces kindly for her. Now it's a chance for O'Day inside attacking 50. Oh, dropped what she should have taken on the outer side there. I think that might be Tyndall who's come onto the ground. Now she kicks towards the top of the goal square, but it's all Diamond Creek, and Haynes takes the mark on the last line.
And Haynes decides to go for the switch, looking for Nicole Paul, who comes out and takes the mark. That's what she does. Now gets on the left. Oh, Wood nearly cut it off by coming out to try and meet her. Wood got it away to Paxman. Paxman now got on the right towards centre half forward. Mark taken by Hammond. Hammond a long way out from home, about 60 metres out, gets on the right, puts it in towards the pocket, coming out. Privatelli, it nearly bounced on her head, but then she controlled it and took the mark.
Yeah, moments ago, Tiana Ernst has come from the ground. Astra O'Connor was, the ball was kicked towards her when the turnover came for Daisy Pearce at half back. And Astra O'Connor just laid out Tiana Ernst. Might have been in the play, but it was a bit of a shirt front.
That's what I say happens in grand finals, and that's why Pearce was lucky it didn't happen to her earlier, as in comes Privatelli. Has a long shot at goal to way to the right. Now they'll make them 3 goals, 6-24, Darebin, and I've got Diamond Creek on my scorecard as 139, so that now should make it 15 points of difference here on the Cotton scoreboard in the VWFL Premier Division Grand Final.
Not another drama with the scoreboard on VWFLradio.com. We don't want to remember that one. Pascoe Vale and Sunbury. Ball kicked out wide. Now a chance for Diamond Creek to work it forward, although Paxman came in to lay the tackle, and then in the process she had her arms out for the tackle and her opponent handballed it straight to her. She couldn't believe her luck, but then she ran over the boundary line out of play. So it'll be a throw in at half forward. The Falcons are in attack. They lead by 15 points. And
taken straight out of the ruck there by Chochi. Gave up the little hand pass, and Martin now goes to the switch towards centre back. This is dangerous. I don't know why they're doing it. As Pierre tries to through. Ball went out the back door now. Here's the foot race on. There's no one inside their forward 50. Absolutely no one to go towards. Cross is having to go with Hogan. Oh, turn it inside out. Cross kicked it off the ground. Still going forward. Here comes Gretsch in the pocket. Gretsch tries to pick it up at her feet. Slap tunnel ball stuff. Was smart in the end. Might receive it back from her teammate. There's Barton up against the boundary line. Hair pass across. Cross goes back inboard. Saxton's that on goal. And Saxton gets it.
They made hard work of it.
Well, I I thought, what are they doing with this dangerous cross, Katie Lambeski? What were they doing?
That was brilliant. That was a brilliant bit of play. With finals, you really have to take that risk. Diamond Creek have to take these risks to win. They did just that, and they got the full reward for it, and that's what I love to see. You got both. It's amazing to see how open this has become, how really end-to-end and how frenetic it's become. It's not quite the brawl we saw in the first quarter. Brilliant start to this.
So 3-6-24 the Falcons, and they still hold a narrow lead over Diamond Creek, 2-3-15, just the 9 points. Corrigan won the tap in the centre of the ground. Held on to in there was Audley, but unless you're wearing a blue, red and white jump, you don't get a free kick. Audley to Gretsch, came out, should have marked it, just hasn't got the rub of the green at the moment. Back to Chochi, handball behind her. Saxton got one high, but she's not wearing a Darebin jumper, so the umpire wave play on. Ball kick forward, a chance here for the Falcons to clear. Callanan just took her time and got it to O'Day, who kicks out wide towards Del Pos. Bouncing footy, one-on-one, had it. Now she's claimed. She sort of handed it to her opponent out there in Charlotte Dillon, and then they locked each other up, and it's a good old-fashioned stalemate. Ball up, centre wing. And we should remind you why Dan Hill's appealing for the free kicks. He's got a slab on the line, and he went the early crow last week. Oh, that was a fair call. You've got to have a Darebin jumper if you want a free kick. So I'm not putting my foot in it. You've dug the hole, you fill it. As now with Paxman. Paxman gets on the right boot towards centre half forward position. Brennan outmarked on that occasion, and I think it was Etherington backing back there to take that. Just looking for some options. Look left and right. In fact, pardon me, it may have been good player going up the line, going towards the centre wing position. Gotchi hand pass off. Coming down the corridor now with a long kick. Gretsch is going to be the meat in the sandwich here. Pearce had front posse. Cross got off the hand pass. Here's a go. Oh, mown down beautifully. Great tackle laid on by Astra O'Connor. Bai didn't see her coming. O'Connor takes it on the right. Goes in the Pearce direction. Pearce goes out to take the mark. Lost the footing. Barton can't control the football. Pearce bumps her off it. Here comes the cavalry. Fire over the top of it. Pearce too strong. Pearce hand pass over the top. Got it to Simpson. Simpson up the line towards centre wing. Lane came out towards it. Lane tries to get rid of Lamb, but Lamb pins her, holding the ball.
There's that trademark Diamond Creek aggression. They've really stepped it up a notch, which is great to see, which are what they needed to do, really.
So up the line, beautiful kick, Gretsch. She took that one in the breadbasket, locked the elbows up on that occasion. She hasn't got a lot to go to. Decides to kick in the Barton direction. She had to sit, almost marked it. Well, in fact, it's Saxton. Then she got a little handball away, crosses a left footer. She tried to bust her way through. She got the handball. Chochi. Anything could happen here, but she's locked up. She managed to just lose her footing at the crucial moment. And there'll be a bounce, 45 outs, almost directly in front, just off centre. They're in attack, the Creekers. They trail by 9 points.
Egan versus Ernst. Ernst won it. O'Connor laid on a bump, flattened out her own teammate. Here's crosser received to Gretsch. Gretsch now goes to the kick. It's across the face. Hammond was on the last line. Will it go out? It won't. Hammond just manages to keep it in. Oh, no! Down the throat of Caitlin Smith. Now, she can't kick far. She's about 45 metres out from goal. She needs an option.
Audley
decides to switch to Audley. Here comes Brennan, who moaned her down. Smith got it back. Hand pass in. Now here's the kick towards the hot spot. Chochi's going to get spoiled by O'Connor, who came across. Punts the ball. Simpson is there. Kicks it along the ground. And all down to the goal pole. The goal pole swings around on the left. Hammond back there. Oh, through for a point. What a ball game here at Coburg City Oval. It is 2-4 on our scorecard for Diamond Creek. That makes them 2-4-16. They trail by 8 points. Darebin 3-6-24 in the Cottons VWFL final series.
They've even given the point to the wrong side.
Oh,
given the point to Darebin on the scoreboard. So it's actually 8 points, but on the scoreboard it says 11.
Sack the scoreboard.
So Mel Hickey's in the back pocket. She's taken the mark. She goes around the outer side, as all good defenders do, but it's only as far as Audley. It manages to get its way to the back of the pack where Lamb's waiting. She was claimed without an umpire waving play on, busting her way through O'Day for the Falcons. Kicks it along the line and just might have taken a divot. It was like one of my drives, and it went over the line out of bounds on the full centre wing. Free kick to the Creekers, who trail by 8 points. Don't believe the scoreboard. We have ticked into red time in the second quarter. It's been an absolute ball burster on VWFLradio.com. Couldn't have asked for more so far. And going short and taking the mark there. I think leading out towards the take, it may have been Barton, who now decides to go towards centre half forward with the kicks. Ball from behind when Chochi and Hammond, but went back to Audley, who almost threw it out there, and the umpire said, yep, gone, holding the ball. And that's going to be a free kick. And 25 as well, for a little bit of lip in there.
And no, he's just calling the other umpire. Well, that's strange. Well, anyway, they played the mark and play on. Geez, I don't know. Callanan, yeah, one was calling it. The other umpire said stuff it as it went out towards the centre wing position. Trying to lay on a tackle there is O'Connor. That's good. Moves it out towards the wing. Mark taken. Now they're on here, the Creekers, with a long kick from Chochi. Puts it in the direction there of Gretsch. Gretsch running after it. Hogan near the boundary line. Will she see it out? She escorts it out. They're appealing for deliberate. The umpire says, come on, are you kidding me? It's the second quarter. You don't pay those to the final turn.
Oh, the whole conspiracy theories roll on. Geez, you could just see there, Gretsch. She was very dangerous. Chiera can't go with her in the pace stakes. As the ball's tossed back in and Gretsch is lurking here. Egan over the top. Bursting her way through there was Lamb. Turnover. O'Connor goes out wide. Got enough on it to kick it out on the full. So it'll be a free kick. Smith on the outer side to Caitlin Smith with O'Day standing the mark. Smith goes short looking for Chochi. Overhit the kick. Mel Hickey got into her back. Umpire wave play on. Now a little snap around the corner. Only as far as O'Connor will mark unopposed in the back pocket.
The Queenslander and O'Connor decides to go short and finds Paxman. Paxman now in defence. Decides to go on the right and long to the 2-on-1. Lang's got to be good. The hands, well, she's got the gloves on and it makes it stick. And she's just pointing further afield. Didn't there used to be a rule in days gone by was only one glove? Who knows? I just haven't kept up with the game these days. As Paxman gets on the right, decides to come back inboard. Chip game, which suits Darebin, and put it straight down the throat there of Nicole Callanan. And she decides to go up the line for Jessica Delpos, who found space. No one was marking her.
Damaro's on her own at the back here. There's no one on her for the Creekers.
And she decides to go back inboard, and they've opened it up now. This is Callanan. Callanan goes dangerously towards centre half forward. Foot race on now. Numbers are back there for the Creekers, so they can just hold it up. Going in there to make the contest, Tracy Ashby for the Falcons, and will call for a ball up 50 metres out from goal, Cody Lembeski.
Excellent work there from Darebin, just to see off that pressure that Diamond Creek were placing on him, and now working it forward now and trying to put some pressure on of their own.
So Steph Simpson to the top of the goal square. Oh, Lang, did she mark it? Umpire said she did. So Lang takes the mark.
I think it was Haynes there, full back, who was remonstrating with the umpire, saying, "You're kidding me, aren't you?"
Yeah, well, she had those two bites of the cherry and then almost sort of faced Haynes and handed it to her by accident. The umpire ruled that the player in front, Jane Lang, will be paid the mark, 25 out directly in front, to give the Falcons a 14-point lead against the run of play. And Jane Lang very aware that there's probably not long left and they've struggled in this term, so she takes her time. She trots in. Will kick from 30. Starts at left-ish and it just straightens on its trajectory and it's a goal. So 14-point lead to the Falcons on the Cotton scoreboard. It is the Cottons VWFL Grand Finals on VWFLradio.com. What a final series it's been, and geez, against the flow, Katie, but they needed it, the Falcons. They needed it to steady. Yeah,
but that one really hurts Diamond Creek. That was against the run of play. Diamond Creek throwing everything at Darebin at the minute, but then Darebin go forward and then just snuff that out. Cruel blow for Diamond Creek, this one.
We got it as 14 points, the difference here, 30-16 on our Cotton scoreboard, as Pearce takes her straight out of the middle of the ground, gets her kick towards centre half forward. No one home, and taking it is Dana Haynes. And Haynes off centre half back, tries to pull the kick in towards the middle of the ground. Gotchi comes out to take the mark in front of Pearce. On the defensive side of the centre circles.
Just kick it long to Gretsch.
And that's what she does. Here comes Gretsch. Oh, one bite of the cherry, didn't have it. Then Barton got it, ran into trouble, including Giera. There's Gretsch, who got mown down without it. Absolutely without it, as Giera gets the hand pass away. Intercepted by Cross. Back to Chochi. Chochi quickly on the right, looking in the direction of it. Kiara White turned her inside out. Hogan versus Cross. Cross uses the body. Cross picks it up. Lefty up against the boundary line. There's it bounced on the paint. It has, says the boundary umpire, and we'll throw it in right next to the point post. Oh, hang on. No, it's on the full. It's been ruled on the full because the boundary umpire put his hand straight up. Interesting.
Well, the field umpires overruled both of them. Interesting. Restart. Vasio, back pocket. Bad kick in the end, although it'll get over the back for Hickey. It's slapped back by Dillon. She was just trying to get it towards Ernst & Co, where the numbers were. Umpire will now come in. Call for a bounce. Well, that was an interesting piece of play. It definitely bounced on the chalk. Both the boundary umpire and the goal umpire said yes, and the field umpire overruled from 50 metres away. We get on with the game. Diamond Creek towards centre half forward. It's going to be a high footy. It's off the pack. Down to Dylan, who looks to kick it defensively. Haynes, she takes the mark. Then she wants to go quickly to Chochi, the racehorse. She's off, kicks from 50. It's over the top. Cross Shepherds, it's a goal! Beautiful goal, Steph Chochi. I think there was only one target when she gathered at 45 out, and that's what the class players do. If you're good enough, stuff the forwards, kick the goal, and she does just that.
That's exactly what Diamond Creek needed just now. Really stands up, really, that's what you need from your best player, your leader, and fantastic goal from Steph Chochi.
And we've got now Cotton scoreboard, Darebin 4-6-30 to Diamond Creek 3-4-22. Here in the VWFL Premier Division Grand Final, live on VWFLradio.com, as we have been throughout the year, and streaming online at VWFL.com.au. Great to have your company. You can talk to us on Twitter during the halftime break. Our hashtag or our symbol is at VWFL Radio. Love to hear from you. Coming through is Pierce, who gets thrown down into the ground. Had two players on her and she was going absolutely nowhere. Audley, one of them as well. I think she calls herself Shazwa on Facebook. There you go. As the ball is in the middle of the ground, here comes Audley. Heads up by Paxman. I did my homework. Gets it out towards the wing. Intercepted though, and they're going to send it back to Smith here. Tries to go in the Barton direction versus O'Day. Got knocked out of O'Day's hands. Pierce picks it off the pack. Gets on the left boot. Oh, it's a bit of a grubber.
That's one of mine.
Well, thank you very much. Here comes Addard, comes in there. O'Connor throws around her weight. And the umpire says there's a free kick going to Barton out of that.
25, thank you, umpire.
That's a 25. That is a 25. If you kick the ball away after a whistle without giving it directly back, that is a 25-metre penalty.
She doesn't play for Darebin, no.
Here's the kick by Barton. In towards the cross direction from behind. Had it. Went over the head of O'Connor. Oh, Hogan's kicked it on the full. She knew it. She knew it as soon as she kicked it. Oh dear, Nicole Paul has it. She's
a chance for me. She's a lefty.
She was looking to come back inboard. She should go for home. She should go for home. Chochi was calling.
Saxton should have shepherded it.
Comes in 50 metres out from goal. Puts it towards the hot spot. Crosses there. Oh, she dropped it. She kicks. Oh, to the left. Oh, geez, if you can imagine if she kicked that, it would have brought the house down. 3 goals, 5-23 Diamond Creek. Darebin 4-6-30 on the Cotton scoreboard.
Gee, she did well there. She did all the hard work. She brought it down, had the first and second bite, but then couldn't get the recovering chest mark. So O'Connor, the restart, kicked it like a pumpkin. It was an absolute shocker. Landed in the arms of Hetherington, who kicked it into the forward pocket. And taking a nice saving mark was Siobhan Hogan. She's in the right back pocket for the Falcons, who are under the pump. Only lead by 7 points.
It's amazing to see the effect that the pressure has on players. Darebin have really made some uncharacteristic mistakes that I just haven't seen them made before.
And Brennan's taking marks in the back pocket, Katie.
There you go.
Yep.
It's a day of firsts.
Delpos has made the move, and now there's a 25-metre penalty.
Why was there a 25?
I have no idea. I completely missed it.
No, it's simple. What colour jumper is she wearing?
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
I'm telling you, there's a conspiracy theory.
I'd love to do the count at the end of the day. Just watch back the replay online.
Oh, justice. She's kicked it out of bounds.
Oh, yep. As you always say, the ball knows if it's right or not.
The ball does never lie, Peter. Never.
Out of bounds. 7-point lead to Darebin here, later stages of the second term.
Of course, as we know, I'm the self-proclaimed best judge in Australia, so I'm always spot on the money. Little kick came from, it might have been Delpos. In fact, it was Vicio, and the turnover mark is from Haynes, who just took off. She said, well, if you're not going to stand the mark, I'm out of here. And she kicked it only as far as O'Day on the outer side, who takes the mark for the Falcons.
And she's just looking around for some options, decides to go up the line, got to be good, finds Lang. Lang's a long way out from home. That just shows you that Richard Delpos has certainly made the structural changes and decides to go further up the line to Pierce, who takes the mark. Pierce, this chip game suits Darebin, all over the head of Hammond, out the back as Hetherington got it to Chochi. Chochi's got to weave in and out of traffic like she's a Swanston Street taxi, and her kick though is a shocker, intercepted. I think it might be Simpson out there who's got it, and Simpson hugs close towards the boundary line, and this is where she spots up her teammate. And on the far side of the ground, looking into the sun, Decides to get on the left, over the head there of Brennan, but at the back was Lang, who took it in front of Hicks. And she's 55 metres out from home in a dangerous position. Goes towards the hot spot. Nicole Paul was at her feet, couldn't pick it up. Privatelli after her.
That'll do.
And she got it on their left and went out towards the one-on-one. I think Macio was back there trying to keep it alive, slapping along. Addard's going with her. Addard got it, then fell over. Addard's back. Addard got up. O'Connor got the hand pass away. Here comes Hickey as well. Here comes the cavalry going across as O'Connor gets a little hand pass out, picked off by Egan.
Egan, little short ball was too big in the end. Charging out, Haynes knocked a few over. Umpire just put the whistle away. Should have been a free kick in there to the Falcons for a high tackle, but the umpire calls for it and will bounce it on centre wing.
Been interesting to see Darebin not really look to, you know, kill the game. They really wanted to get the game back on their terms. They're trying to be proactive rather than reactive, and I think it's making for an opening for Diamond Creek to run into and to get back into this game.
Yeah, it's almost a level of respect shown by the Falcons.
Blood rule.
Yeah, blood rule.
So clock will be stopped during the blood rule. So
Pierce is saying it's not flowing, umpire, and the umpire says, "Get stuffed, Daisy. I make the rules. Off you go." So Daisy Pearce will make her way from the outer wing across the ground, and until she's replaced, the game will be frozen.
To see if it's either blood flowing, or if you have a little bit of blood on your jumper, they can actually send you off for that as well.
No, just on the elbow, I think. And it is a rough centre in there. It's very much the centre wicket area that's hardened up.
Yeah, I look at that pitch and I go, that's a bit of a road. If I want to toss it back today on that, thanks. As the clock restarts and we're underway again on the outer side, as a hand pass came out to Hickey. Hickey off the side of the pack, kicked it out towards O'Day. O'Day took the mark. O'Day now going up the line, looking for Demaro, who now takes it in front of Hetherington. Demaro now with the footy between centre wing and half forward flank, delivers in towards the forward line. Oh, went out the back to Lane. Lane 45 metres out from goal, goes for home. Privatelli in the goal square, and it got tapped through for a minor score.
She should have let that go, Pete.
It was closer than going through for a point. It was a tough decision to make. 4-7-31 Darebin. They lead 3-5-23. As the siren sounds for half-time on our scorecard, we've got it as an 8-point ball game here at Piranha Park, Coburg City Oval. So Katie Lambeski, there's no doubt about it, they've halved the lead. They've halved the lead, Diamond Creek. They've chewed into it, but have they chewed into it enough?
We'll see. Darebin now have the goal scoring end. Darebin now will have, or Darebin should have most of the ball in their half in the next quarter. So while as good as Diamond Creek have been in this quarter, I think it's been Diamond Creek's quarter with no doubt about that. Now Diamond Creek will have to dig deep. They'll almost certainly be under pressure in the third quarter. Just a matter of standing up and stopping that now.
Yeah, I think, Peter, as I mentioned last week when I decided to tip Diamond Creek, they have to kick 10 goals. That's the yardstick. They have to kick 10 goals to win this game. They've got 3. They had none in the first quarter. They've managed to get 3 in the second. Although they kicked a majority of those goals in the opening stages of that second quarter. So really, they need to kick 2 goals and come home with 5 in the last. So they need to kick 2 goals in the third quarter against the win if they're going to win this game. It's
going to be interesting, isn't it, the tactics of the next
forward as well. So it's all coming together quite well.
We've got patrons, punters, and plebs. We've got it all here on VWFLradio.com, and to get us underway in the second half of the VWFL Premier Division Grand Final, here's Peter Holden.
And away we go, and it was one out by O'Connor. Lamb was first to it. She got wrapped up straight away, and the umpire calls for a ball up. Lamb wrapped up, sound like a kebab. As the umpire throws it up in the air again, away we go. Corrigan had front posse to it. O'Day was in there as well. Popped out as far as Audley, the serial pest. She put the ball on the right boot, put it out towards the wing position. Who's going to be first to try and run onto it? It is the Creekers. Here's the kick. Guess who? Daisy Pearce, hashtag, doesn't get the hard ball. She's on defensive side of centre wing. Gets on the right boot, goes up the line, over the head there of O'Day. Went out the back door. O'Connor could be the first to run onto it. She manages to keep it from inside the boundary line after Chochi was chasing her. Kicks it towards the contest. Privatelli knocked away from her hands by Charlotte. In fact, it was Delpos. And the ball will go over the boundary line and out of bounds. But that's what Darebin want. Fast entry into their forward line.
Excellent work from Chochi to deny Asta there. Could have turned pretty ugly quickly. If Asta had that amount of space to keep running going forward and using it, might have been a different ball game then.
Ball tossed back in. It's all locked up. Our resident magpie here at Coburg City Oval has flown his way back onto the left half forward flank. just lurking over there.
He was an omen for Montmorency last week.
He's been...
And for North Geelong today.
Absolutely. He's been getting involved all afternoon. As the ball's slapped out now, Lang working defensively. She runs and hands it back to, I think it might have been Pearce, who then wobbled it on the left and found O'Day. And O'Day wants to go quickly backwards to Paxman. Not a very intelligent kick, but Paxman did well enough to then kick it up towards full forward. Burrowing in there is Hicks, didn't have it, but she's not wearing a Darebin jumper. Now Audley kicks it the wrong way. I think she was trying to rush it. And the umpire says, well, I might give you the 5th free kick, Diamond Creek, and you can have it on the half-back line. And Shay Audley, who's got enough scars on her head, will get whacked in the head 3,000 times. She will get the free kick. Gee, she's tough.
Nurse by trade, lived all her life in Hurstbridge, she tells me.
She is as tough as nails. She's a star.
And she gets going now on the right, kicks it long towards the contest for CO and Haynes. Went out the back, Chochi, guess who? Got it on the left boot, kicked it around the corner. Foot race now coming out to the wing position. Picked up on Nicole Paul. Nicole Paul's got a player on here if she can hit her, and she does on the centre wing position. Good mark taken. Ready to spin around is Saxton. Saxton goes long towards the half-forward flank position. 2-on-1. Here came Egan who put the fist in there. Ball has stayed in miraculously. Kiara White's there as well. Egan wants to see towards the boundary line. White wants to keep it in. Gretsch is there for support. Gretsch gets wrapped up by home back moves cross. He got it over the top to White. Smart footy. White takes a bounce. White runs inside 50. Hand passes along the ground. I'm not quite sure what she was doing there. Wanted the 1-2. And just weaving through there as Pearson now kicks it back. Only as far though as Chochi. Chochi went left. Chochi went right. Put it out the centre half forward. Foot race on. It's White again who picks it up. White just slammed it on the boot when she had a little more time, and the mark's taken. Barton will be lining up for goal directly in front, and she'll be kicking from about 20 to 25 metres out. Katie Lambeski, this is like gold if she can kick one against the wind.
Absolutely. What a start this would be for Diamond Creek. Here it comes.
Journey will be a problem.
And on the line it's touched.
It's right on the range.
3 goals, 6-24 Diamond Creek. 4 goals, 7-31 Darebin here in the Cottons Premier Division Grand Final. And the scoreboard, wake up, turn the scoreboard over.
Well, it would seem as though that the Creekers have maintained their momentum and they've brought it into the third quarter. Poor kick out. Callanan, in fact, on hands and knees. Now a poor kick that wobbled around in the breeze but was marked by Tracy Ashby. They get away with one here, the Falcons. Ashby called to go, wasn't aware of it. Oh, she's almost run down. Kick out very wide. He's in search of Hickey, and it's gone out on the full, has it? No, it's pitched just inside.
I think Tochi was calling for out of bounds to the full, but it bounced up and hit her leg above the knee, which is okay.
So toss back in front of the ETU signs on the outer side.
And that's what they do. There was O'Connor from behind. Got it only as far as Chochi. Now turned around. Went back inboard to Hetherington. Diamond Creek player down behind play. Keep an eye on that Dan out there on the centre wing as it goes towards the wide direction and taking a mark. Directly in front is Bernardi. And she'll be lining up from about 30 to 35 metres out from goal.
Yeah, Corrigan down on the outer side, but might just have a dead arm, just a stinger in the left arm. So I think she'll be okay. I hope she's okay.
Bernardi, if she kicks this, it's a 1-point ball game here on VWFL Radio and VWFL.com.au.
How's her last 6 weeks been? She's improved out of sight.
In comes Bernardi. 35 metres out directly in front, and commentators curse. Give her a rap, and she puts the ball out, throw it in.
Kicked that like it was a 10-kilo weight.
That is a Barry Crocker. Throw it in deep in the forward line.
Oh, better than kicking it out in the full. Ball to be tossed back in. Cross will do the ruck work for the Creekers. Astor O'Connor over the top for the Falcons. Bustling her way onto it here is, I think it might have been Kiara White. She's kicked it towards the top of the goal square. Cross got a little handball away, clearing away Pearce for the Falcons. Outside defensive 50, bouncing away on the wing. There was one intention, and it was boundary line, and she found it. Throw in centre wing. Falcons by 7 points. Opening stage's third term. And the Cotton scoreboard has finally updated itself, and it shows a 7-point lead to the Falcons.
O'Connor got away from Ernst, took it straight out of the ruck, felt the little hand pass, looking for the player, and went back and board. Oh! And Delpos who got mown down.
Good tackle.
And I think it was by Doc. It's Tiana Ernst. She's got it. And took on the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge recently. He goes, this is our Queensland to do it. And now gets on the right boot and kicks long up the line. And in fact, it wasn't icebreaker chase, it was the Nick nominate, I should say. Wrong challenge. Went up towards the halfback flank position.
Right,
Ernst goes in there, coming out with a quick hand pass to Delpos. Delpos got a kick away before Audley could get it. Goes to Privatelli. Privatelli took it in front of Moorcroft.
Moorcroft's done a good job this afternoon.
And gets on the right. This is squaring it up. Pierce right to go, and a mark taken by Lang, and Hetherington just misjudged it. And there's Lang now getting on the right. Vesio! Had space. It opened up for her and she'll be lining up the goal. Katie Lembeski from 35 metres out on a 45-degree angle.
That's what Diamond Creek could not afford to do then. Just let Darcy get a bit of space, give her time to get onto the ball, and now she is lining up for goal to really make it difficult for Diamond Creek.
In she comes. It is high. It is looking straight. It is through. And Vesio gets her first. 5-7-37, Darebin, Diamond Creek, 3-6-24. That's on the Cotton scoreboard in the VWFL Premier Division Grand Final.
Just when it looked like Diamond Creek were on the verge of getting a goal and making a one-point ball game, that goes and happens. Darebin really withstanding the pressure they were under early and turning it right back on Diamond Creek. As a result, Darcy Vesio scores and just increases Darebin's lead just by that much.
Ball back in the centre of the ground, and Ernst won the tap. She's done very well against O'Connor, trying to follow up her own work. O'Day sharked it on the right, up towards half forward. Plenty of carry on the kick. Just dropped on the top of heads there, and Steph Smith got a little handball away with her wrong hand, which was her right hand. Now going back, Saxton. She gets a handball away to Chochi, who kicks it backwards by accident off the side of the boot on the left. And then busting her way through is Nicole Paul. Got a handball away just in the nick of time. No, bad umpiring. Bad umpiring. Umpire was completely blindsided and gave a throw against Nicole Paul when she clearly handballed it.
And she's remonstrating as well, saying you got no idea.
Wouldn't be happy either. So Katie Brennan, she has it. 60 from home. Goes on the right. Keeps it boundary side. Flying up to CO, couldn't take the mark. Haynes should have been happy with the line. Instead kept it into Williams. Williams to Ernst. Geez, she's played well, Tiana Ernst. Marks in front of O'Connor. And Tiana Ernst has it on the left back flank.
And Ernst decides to get on the right boot, or kicked it into the hands there of O'Connor. Comes off touch, picked up by Hammond. Hammond now goes back in the direction of Privatelli and Vesio. They collide. There's Lane to try and pick it off the ground. She couldn't do so. Moorcroft goes sliding in, locks it all up. Umpire calls for the bounce 25 metres out from goal.
Yeah, O'Connor, she wasn't happy when she got outmarked by Ernst, so she thought she'd run over the mark, got away with it, and got the smother.
Ball to be thrown up in the air. Ernst versus O'Connor. And through the legs there of Pierce out to Simpson. That's an unusual hand pass along the ground. There's O'Connor who collected Lamb on the way through. Ball on the ground, in goes Hammond again, wraps up Haynes. Ball is hatched out as far as Lungu gets rolled over. And the umpire calls for a ball up. 5-7-37 Darebin, Diamond Creek 3-6-24 on the Cotton scoreboard. You're on VWFL.com.au and VWFLradio.com.
O'Connor the tap is on this occasion. Pierce came through, claimed immediately. Now Chochi got on the bike, but saw O'Day and thought, well, I'm not going to win this race, so I'll just kick it out wide. And running onto it is Caitlin Smith, and she's happy to see it over the line and out of bounds. At left half forward for the Falcons, they lead by 13 points.
You just got a feeling that Diamond Creek is starting to float back now and starting to put the brakes on again.
They certainly are, and it's not their go. They don't want to go into the shell. Earns the tap over the back. Chance in there for Charlotte Dillon. She couldn't come up with it. Ball goes towards the boundary line, and it'll be taken over and out. Another throw-in. Let's see if my co-commentator Peter Holden can break this one up.
I'll try and do the best for you as we wait for it to be thrown back into play. Hashtag slab on the line. Diamond Creek was still in by Dan Hill. Thank you very much. As it's put out towards the pocket. Smith overran it. Delpos is there. She's caught by Charlotte Dillon. And pass out, taken by Hammond to just put it on the boot in the Brennan direction. And Hicks went to collide with her. Put the spoil in there. Moorcroft over it. Wrapped up Brennan. And the umpire's pulled out high.
That was there.
And Brennan will have the resulting free kick, lining up on goal, 25 metres out in the 45-degree angle. Just
when it looked like Diamond Creek were just seeing off the pressure, just sort of kicking it out to the boundary side, just to sort of soak it up a bit. That goes and happens. It's just, this hasn't been their last few minutes, and now Katie Brennan lines it up.
The Queenslander and Katie Brennan, originally from southeast Queensland. I think might have been from the Gold Coast area, as she'll be lining up. See if she can slot through the goal. In she creeps. On the mark is Saxton. Audley trying to put her off by whistling. In she comes. Stabs at it. Oh, it's a shocking kick.
That was a knee bent special, that one.
That's across the face for a minor score. And that is 5-8-38 as the scoreboard ticks over the wrong score. No, they fix it again. 5-8-38 Darebin, Diamond Creek 3-6-24 here on VWFLradio.com and the live stream on VWFL.com.au.
Hetherington in search of Chochi, fisted away by Pearce. At the base of it is Privatelli. She's dumped. The ball was left behind and stayed in. Haynes is trying to come through and work it clear. The umpire will call for it. Steph Simpson's in there throwing her elbows around. Moorcroft just says, do that again and I'll clip you. And she runs back to the defensive goal square. Paxman comes through a fresh air boot at it. Clearance away only as far as Hogan. Loads it up on the right. Looking for Brennan. Oh, took the mark. Good grab. In front of Hicks. Goes quickly, Brennan. Oh no, slows it down. Might have a shot here. Might fancy herself. Tightens the boat and then goes short to O'Day on her own.
Poor marking there.
35 out directly in front. Oh well, 40 out directly in front. She'll kick from 42.
Too easy for O'Day there. Far too much space afforded to her. Diamond Creek really have to manage this deficit. They can't let it blow out past the 3-4 goal mark. They really have to stay in it if they want to mount a charge in the last quarter. O'Day
with that galloping approach on the right. Just away to the right. She didn't like it off the boot. Just the one behind. So the Falcons squandering plenty of chances. 5-9-39. Cotton's VWFL radio scoreboard. Diamond Creek 3-6-24. For those of you mathematically challenged or that went to public school, it's a 15-point lead to the Falcons.
Oi, I went to public school.
No, I'm only joking.
As the kick in from fullback.
I wouldn't do that.
Hello to those that went to Broady High. As the kick is back in, haven't knocked it down. There's Pearce who tries to pick it up. She does so. As Audley tried to claim it. Pearce went long with a kick. Is it high and downfield?
No, pick it up.
Didn't. And that means Hetherington takes the mark in the back pocket for the Creekers. Under all kinds of pressure at the moment, Diamond Creek.
Hetherington wants the player on the mark to go back, and she got her wish.
Exactly, and now she gets the long kick towards the half-back flank on the outer side. Going up was Williams, looking for the boundary line. She will, under all kinds of pressure from Vasio, and will throw it in. Half-back flank for Diamond Creek, half-forward flank for Darebin, and that's where Diamond Creek seem to be stuck the last 6 or 7 minutes.
Ball toss back into play. At the back, Egan. The tap. Now a chance here for Paxman, who wheels and deals. Handball back to O'Day, who also wheels and deals and steps around a couple. Rabs Warren would have been happy with that. Kicks it, goal, Vasio at the back. And she's marked it, or has she marked it in the square though? That's the big question. Umpire says yes, she has. So she'll get to kick a goal from straight in front.
Another cruel blow for Diamond Creek there. You thought really, you think they were going to see off the pressure there. They could, and eventually Darebin working their way forward, and Darcy Vesio might have been kicking a goal there truly.
So that's her second, straight over the goal umpire's hat. And a timely goal really for the Falcons, who have controlled most of this term. They stretch the margin out to that danger zone of 21 points. And it's a long way back now for the Creekers. They need to, at the very least, not let the Falcons score for the rest of this quarter and hopefully get one of their own. It's
amazing. We were talking about a shot on goal about 10 minutes ago that if they had kicked it, it would have been a 1-point ball game. It was a shank, and ever since that moment, the game has turned back the other way for Darebin. A seesawing affair, and now Darebin well and truly in control. Back in the middle, Ernst won the tap down. Nearly put it down the throat there. A buyer got it out to Ernst, and the umpire says held without it, and doesn't pay now pays the advantage to Chochi. Chochi now goes long for the square. Hogan was there, went out the back. Cross is trying to keep it alive. Hogan now picks it up, has to support. Oh, Cross just knocks the one out behind play. So get out of my way with the elbow. Coming across there is Caitlin Smith. Here comes Pearce. There's the hand pass over the top. Oh, it's going to hurt. It's going back the other way. Here's the hands. There was Smith who overran it, picked up by Brennan. Brennan went to go with a hand pass. Pearce had it, then lost it. Williams over the top. They're hailing cabs. And the umpire says in the back. Oh, geez, I don't know about that.
So Peter Holden's finally cottoning on in the Cotton's final series. The ball goes inside the attacking zone here for the Falcons. It's a dangerous footy. Bursting her way onto it there was Tyndall. She couldn't come up with it. Ball goes out very wide. Great mark, Haynes. Took off. Raced away. Kicked it in towards Ernst. But running onto it, Chochi. She's also off. Gets a little handball away. No, she decides to tap it on the deck and keep possession. Kicks inside the attacking zone. It's a good ball. It's a great ball. And taking the mark for the Creekers out wide. I think it might have been Charlotte Dillon. Is it Kiara White? It is.
Yeah. She wanted to go on, but the umpire said, I've blown time on and I'm holding the mark, so you can't interfere with the mark. You have to go behind it as we can go.
I'll work on my pronunciation. It's Kiara White on the outer side. She's too far out to score in this breeze, you would think. She goes at goal with a flat wobbler. And coming out almost, I think it might have been Gretsch almost marked it. She's injured too, which is not handy at all for the Creekers. Now the Falcons look to work it clear. And
Icky goes with a quick little hand pass now, going across to Wood, who calls back with a 1-2 and receives. Now goes back over to O'Day, who nearly gets mown down by Audley. Turnover there as Caitlin Smith has to weave through traffic. That's what he does. Went left and right and went backwards again. Now here's a little chip across. Has to try and pick it up off the carpet. There is Hetherington. Shrugged off Wood. Nearly got claimed. Got a kick away in the time. Only dribbled forward about 5 metres though. Erst there for the pressure as well. All diving across. There's Hammond. Hammond gets it on the right boot. Now going up towards the wing position. But Charlotte Dillon nearly had it. Then dropped it. Delpos at a hammer. Delpos made the spoil. And we'll see the ball go over the boundary line and out of bounds. Centre wing on the eastern side of the ground. If you've just joined us, Darebin 6-9-45, Diamond Creek 3-6-24.
Closing stages of the third term as the ball's tossed back in. One over the back by Ernst. That was some terrific ruck work. The ball goes up and down to the wing. Coming out to take the mark is Barden, just in front of Hickey. So Barden centre wing for the Creekers. Hasn't got a lot to go to, not a lot of movement ahead. Players are tired. She goes on the right, around the outer side. Flying up, trying to take the mark was Hickey, who had doubled back. Now O'Connor. She kicks up towards centre half forward. The numbers are with the Creekers, but they're under the pump momentarily. Moorcroft comes out, put the big backside in and just bustled away through a couple. Umpire said holding the footy, Brennan got her. So free kick to Katie Brennan at half forward against Moorcroft. And Brennan looking to load it up. Has Vasio on the lead. Says, well, Darcy, you're in form. I'll just put it on your head. Almost marked it against 5, Vasio. Hetherington went in and, she just handballed it to Audley and then somehow got it back. And affecting the smuller in there was Tyndall. Now a little ball around the corners, only as far as Hammond, who marks on defence, on her attacking 50, I should say. As she wants to go quickly. Short ball, that's no way that's 15. But Pearce will mark in front of Chochi. And Pearce will have a shot from right on the arc, which is about 46.5 down here at Coburg City. Up goes short, looking for Brennan, and finds her.
Poor marking there once again. They should have known that, particularly how fast the game's been running today, Katie Lembeski, is that players like Brennan and Pearce aren't going to be kicking it from 50 out. They are going to be looking for the pass, and this is just what happened.
I think you're seeing players starting to wilt, players starting to tire. There's only so much you can do before, with your back against the wall. There's only so much you can do before you start to wilt. I think that's been proven here. Katie Brennan getting some space and now lining up for goal.
You have to feel that this is one nail in the coffin. Brennan just wipes her hand on her shorts for a little bit of extra grip as she approaches. Kicks at goal and she likes it. It's there. A goal to the Falcons. A good finish in the end from Katie Brennan, who has probably got one hand on the medal so far. She's got 3. She's been terrific. It puts the margin to absolute danger zone at 27 points on the Cottons VWFL radio scoreboard. 7-9-51. The Falcons, Diamond Creek 3-6-24.
Darebin now with one hand firmly on the cup at the minute. Now Diamond Creek really have to arrest the momentum. Now it's the time to turn it around. There's not much left to go.
So as we wait for the ball to come back in to the field umpire for the boundary umpires, and we'll throw it up in the air and away we go again. Up in the air as O'Connor won it. Delpos took it away, got it on the left, now moving in towards the forward line. Bouncing around, here goes Pearce, all went over her head though. Numbers at the back, Dillon, didn't judge it well. Pearce read it best, slapped it in front of herself. Pearce against the boundary line, Pearce against the boundary line, looking for Vasio at the front.
We've got a push in the back too there, Vasio.
Umpire doesn't pay it, minus score. 7-10-52 Darebin. They lead by 28 points. Diamond Creek 3-6-24 on the Cotton scoreboard in the VWFL Premier Division Grand Final nearing three-quarter time.
Hetherington straight up the middle, no mucking about. She finds Laura Addard, who wants to go out wider to Nicole Paul. Takes the mark, she's a left footer, get it to Brittany Gretsch. She needs a touch of the leather. Goes in that direction. Gretsch, easy mark on the chest. O'Connor for company. Made her earn it. Gretsch at half back, long way from home.
Darebin proving far better at locking the ball into their forward 50 and really making the Diamond Creek just to work to get it to their half forward line. It's just incredible pressure and it's telling, I think.
So ball at half back for the Creekers who have the numbers. Addard got one in the back, she'll get the free kick. Diamond Creek trail by 28 points. The switch might be on here for Addard, but she has Gretsch on short. And she'll be forced to kick into the shadows at Coburg City Oval. Wobbles one towards Chochi, couldn't take it. Hickey, little handball to O'Day, who snapped it round the corner. Back inside the attacking zone, close to the line, Moorcroft would mark. And she marks in the left back pocket for the Creekers and wants to switch the play.
And that's what she does. Oh no, it's going to go straight down the throat of Vasio. And she wanted to play on, went back behind the mark. And if she kicks this, it's yibbity yibbita. That's all, folks.
That's just a brain explosion from Moorcroft.
I can't understand why you kick a ball that high when you're trying to switch play, when you've got to keep it low, flat, direct. And Vasio could not only put the nail in the coffin, but in my humble opinion, do the funeral service. In she comes, and she's missed. So that 1 point makes it 29 points the difference. 7-11-53, Darebin. Diamond Creek 3-6-24. You're on VWFLradio.com and the live stream at VWFL.com.au on the Cotton scoreboard.
Hetherington, she's woken up to it. She plays onto herself. She kicks wide, but only as far as Pearce, who marks. She was just held up momentarily by Haynes, smartly in the end. So Pearce goes to the hot spot. Over the back was Nicole Paul, got the left hand to it. Ball close to the boundary line. And Moorcroft will see Privatelli over the line now to play. Right in front of the race down here at Coburg City Oval, which is about 25 around from Darebin's attacking goal in the right forward pocket.
Thrown back into play. Gretsch versus O'Connor. Went out the back door to Jessica Del Posse, put her on the left and put it right down the throat of Privatelli. When luck goes your way, it surely does.
This has been a costly 5 minutes for Diamond Creek. Just some poor decision making, some poor skill errors, and now Darebin really making them pay for it.
That's the part where the coach throws the headset.
Yep. As Rebecca Privatelli comes in, 45-degree angle, kicking from 15 metres out, looking to put it out to 35 points the difference. The slow approach in front of the big crowd here at Coburg City Oval. Oh, she shanked it.
Now, I hate to say this, Pete, but I did say that Diamond Creek have 5 goals in them in the last quarter, and it just seems to be stuck at 29.
It is curious. It's a very curious position.
I know I'm good, but I can't be that good, surely.
Hey, she actually tipped North Geelong to win by a point, and they did in the Division 2 Grand Final. You couldn't do it twice in a day, could you? Coming in there is Gretsch. Gretsch had to try and get a hurry kick away. Coming there is Ashby, trying to get a hand pass to Pearce. Pearce looking for Brennan, and knocked out of her hands by Haynes, who went colliding with her. The goal ball gets wrapped up there by Paxman. Has to go again, gets it back. It's the hand pass out to Haynes. That's great stuff. But the kick, though, is let down because it only went as far as Happy Hammond, who's been just marching that area across the half-forward flank. And she goes short. The Paxman who dropped it, the umpire called play on. That's wrapped up by Addard. Could be gone. Umpire comes in and says no prior opportunity. We'll call for a bounce.
She's done a pair of work, Paxman. She's tired. The old legs, the veterans' legs, standing up though in the grand final. Pearce busted her way through. Had about 6 hanging off her. It's like Flamberge last week at Caulfield. Plenty of weight. She's got the victory this afternoon. As apparently there's a record on the ground that just got thrown out the side door. the boundary umpire wanted to come in and take that off the ground, but he instead decided to run his way down to the pocket where the ball was kicked over the line and out of play.
I know some forwards who asked for a pen and quickly signed it and thrown it back as ball back in the play. There's O'Day who came across as the third one up. Then the Del Posse nearly spun out of trouble. Haynes, and the umpire says dispossessed. And Diamond Creek have the ball in the shadows of the three-quarter time siren. Deep in the back pocket, short to Nicole Paul. And
doesn't matter, umpire.
The umpire's just steering direction. I'd say you've got to use a little bit of common sense, particularly when you're playing straight 25-minute quarters. Looking for Moorcroft. There is a Vasio into the edge of the goal square. Saxon's stripped of it. Here's the hurry kick away.
They got away with it.
How many bullets have they dodged, Diamond Creek, there? But
it's the guillotine is just resting above the neck. You're
just waiting for the grip just to let go, and she's all done. But for Darebin, they have one hand on the Premiership Cup at three-quarter time. 7-11-53. Diamond Creek 3-6-24 on the Cotton scoreboard. Katie Lambeski, how did you see that third turn?
I still feel Diamond Creek's, the door is still open for Diamond Creek just a little bit. We're talking about 30 points to 30-point gap, but still not quite there at the minute. So Diamond Creek still alive. I think it's a 5-goal breeze. I think they have the goal scoring in now. They really have to be clean. They really have to be quick going forward, and the game is still alive if they want it to be.
Yeah, I think that the big question here for for me is, can you kick 5 of your own but limit Darebin to nothing? And the answer is no.
Daniel Hill.
I think they are home, but I think we'll know a little bit more at the sort of the 10-minute mark. They're long quarters, these 25-minute quarters, and we've seen in the Premier Division all throughout this year that it can be turned around, especially when the St Kildas of the world have played a Melbourne Uni or whatnot. It's always shown that sometimes those 25-minute quarters can just wane on you in the last 7 or 8, and sides can kick 2 and 3 goals quickly. Obviously, Diamond Creek need to be a little closer come the end of this quarter, but if they can just chip away at the margin and just make the Falcons think about it, you never know.
Eddie Lambeski.
I'm leaning toward Darebin, to be honest. I think Darebin are just about home, but I'll let you know in 5 minutes.
To get us underway with the final quarter, Daniel Hill.
Another very shallow throw up, and O'Connor on the tap. Now it's O'Day on the right, inside the attacking zone. Bouncing footy, Brennan straight onto it, burst away on the left, kick a goal. It's a bit of a wobbler, and it's away to the left, so that could have been another dagger. That could have been it, but just the minor score for Katie Brennan takes the margin out to an even 5 goals. It's 30 points, and I think down there it might be the restart for Charlotte Dillon.
And she kicks it to herself, decides to go for a little run in the back pocket. Now goes out towards the half-back flank. Rich out the back, takes the mark, and now quickly gets it on the left, going up the line. Got to be good to Hetherington. Hetherington's been moved up to centre wing. That's a revelation. He's rolling the dice, Grant Barton. Moves it across to Bernardi. Bernardi shrugged off Ashby. Bernardi gets on the right. There is absolutely nobody home. As the ball is bouncing. It's bouncing. It bounces for a point. The strange thing is, it probably helps Diamond Creek because it's now down that end of the ground. But that's not a great sign when there's no one inside your forward 50 when you need to kick goals.
Instantly you've seen Grant Barton make the change. You got Tanya Hetherington down centre wing, not afraid to roll the dice, and that is something that they needed to do.
So Chiera goes wide to O'Day, who then goes wider again, and I think it might have been CO out there. In fact, it was Del Pos who gets on the left. Now O'Day, the roving work, did beautifully well. Picked it up on the burst, kicked on the right, beyond the wing. Brennan comes up, and she takes the mark on the chest.
Brennan looking around for some options, just slows things up, works it out wide. Mark taking that might be O'Day out there. It is, goes out towards the half-forward flank position. She's coming to her own in the final term. And spots a bit of target there. Oh, a bit of a shank kick going towards Privatelli, is mown into the ground there by Moorcroft, and the umpire says in the back. Bad technique. And there'll be a shot on goal for Darebin. And I reckon I've seen a telltale sign while this game is now over. With a kick in from full back for Darebin and the mark taken by O'Day at half-back flank. You've seen in the second quarter the Diamond Creek girls would make a contest of that and force the ball to the ground. They didn't. She took an easy mark despite 2 on her. I think that's the telltale sign it's over. As in comes a hop, skip and a jump from 25 metres out. It's going to fall short in the square. It's out the back doors. It rushed through. It is. It's a minor score. Back out the 5 goals the difference. 7-13, 55 is Darebin. Diamond Creek 3-7-25 on the Cotton scoreboard.
So Gretch, the restart. She's looking around and wanting someone else to kick it in, but she's going to take it instead. Very close to the line and stood on the line.
Oh, no.
Yeah, she's just not in the game today, Brittany Gretch. Same as 2 weeks ago. She's having a shocker. So it'll be a bounce on the kickoff line. Right in the teeth of goal for Darebin. Tossed up, plenty around it. Slapped towards the line. Gretch comes through, butters up her own work. Gets on the left. Only as far as Hammond, who loads it up and kicks it out of bounds on the full. No, just the one behind. So it takes it out to a 31-point lead for the Falcons. And Brittany Gretch won't be taking this kick out, Peter Holden.
No, Moorcroft will take it instead. Moorcroft deep in defence. Looks further afield for some options. 56 plays 25. 31 points the difference. So, well, Diamond Creek needs 6 goals to win it. Put it that way. Going in the direction now of Kirby Hicks, who made the spoil. Ball brought to ground. Vesea tries to charge her way through. The umpire says held without it, the player behind the play. And Kirby Hicks now gets on the left, goes out towards the wing position over the head in Nicole Paul. Lamb tries to chase after it, but first to it though was Cullinan, who nearly got knocked over. Ball still out there on centre wing. They're mucking around with it. Egan managed to get it back to Chiera, the president at Darebin. Oh, a kick though has let it down only as far as Shea Audley, the serial pest, who took a bounce, nearly ran into trouble with a hand pass over the top to Chochi. Chochi's got a kick before Delpos came at her to Gretsch, 2-on-1. They've double teamed her. Here's the hurry kick off the ground. That's a smart play, but the numbers are here, including Chochi's going to be first to it. She's over the ball, can't pick it up. Going in there is Byer and then Chochi. Chochi's hand pass read well by Hickey. Hickey got the hand pass hurriedly towards the boundary line. Will be seen over after that little bump, and we'll throw it in.
Smart play in the end by Natalie Wood, because it could have been close to deliberate, but she got there to sort of score a try over the line.
They were appealing to the umpire, and the umpire's not buying.
Ball toss back in. O'Connor won the tap against Corrigan. The front Simpson had her handball smothered. Cross came through, got one high. Cross wants to go quickly, but has to go behind the mark. Umpire pointed the wrong way.
Barely any options up forward.
So Cross on the left just kicks really to no one in particular. Hammond went back with the flight. Numbers everywhere for Darebin. Good clearing kick from Egan into the corridor for Pearce, who loads it up. Bumped as she kicked. Fasio on the long searching lead. Takes the mark, winds it up and kicks inside the attacking zone towards full forward. Privatelli couldn't take the mark. Knocked over by Moorcroft. Ball at the base of a pack. Moorcroft goes back in to lay the tackle. Yeah, little handball came out in search of Fasio, who's followed up her work. Might have been a free kick, and the umpire says yes. Free kick to the Falcons.
You get the feeling Diamond Creek are cooked.
Yeah, Diamond Creek, they just don't believe. Although all poor kick here, O'Connor, she's marked at centre half forward and then got one high.
Katie Lambeski.
Yeah, far too. I think Diamond Creek are starting to get out on their feet. You just saw then how easily Darebin just cleared the ball out from their 50 and went forward. No one there for Diamond Creek, and they just don't have another shot to fire, it looks like.
And went to the O'Day direction. She got a shove afterwards. I think that's the frustration starting to show now.
Hammond's all on her own too.
And was looking in that direction, and 25.
Over the mark. Yeah, they're just tired now, Diamond Creek. They've given absolutely everything to be where they are, and it's just too far away. And O'Day is going to be lining up the goal from about 25 metres out directly in front. And should slot this through and put it out to 37 points the difference. O'Day. In she comes. Flat low kick, and it does the job though. Put that one down to Elise O'Day. And 8-14-62, Darebin, Diamond Creek 3-7-25 on the Cotton scoreboard. And I think one of the other telltale signs, Katie, earlier when they were trying to attack, there was too many numbers back stuck on the wing and not able to have any juice left in the tank to be able to run forward to make the options. And if you've got no options running forward, Darebin are just going to park a bus of players across the back line, because that's all they have to do to protect their lead. But instead, they're even going further ahead.
Yeah, absolutely. Diamond Creek are just, I think they've fired their best shot, and now they don't have another one to fire. I think they've lost heart, and now this is going to be a Darebin possession, I think.
So Williams took the mark at centre half back. She's held her head up today, went out wide to Bernardi, who couldn't take the mark. Gretsch is after it. She might crash her body here, does. Knocked Paxman over, gave away the free kick, and Paxman will have it centre wing. Paxman thought she had a 25, but she didn't. So Paxman for the Falcons with her side, enjoying a 37-point lead in the Premier Grand Final. She goes long and wide, and Brennan takes the mark at left half forward. She's played very, very well this afternoon, Katie Brennan. She loads it up, wants someone to come at her, called to go. Kick will fall in front as it holds up in the breeze. Coming out Privatelli, couldn't take it, and she'll get a free kick for a high hit across the shoulder, it must have been. Gee whiz, some of the free kicks today, highly questionable, and a 25 as well. Against Moorcroft, who's basically just said, what was that for? Which is probably a good question, but the umpire's not going to have anything to do with that.
And that's a decent 25 as well.
And she's decided that'll make her directly in front. So Privatelli from the top of the goal square kicks the goal, and now it threatens to get ugly. Out to 43 points. And you've got to say at stages this afternoon, we've had 21 on the field, Darebin. The umpires have done them plenty of favours. But when you're the champs, you get the rub of the green, and they've had it again this afternoon.
You're filthy because you're losing a slab to me, that's why.
I'm filthy because I like to see a good even game, Peter, where both sides get a good run at the football. And I don't think that has been the case this afternoon, or for a fair bulk of the season, to be fair.
I'm a typical Port Melbourne supporter. We don't care what happens as long as we win. As the kick comes towards the wing position, Simpson got it across to Chiera, who got mown down by Bernardi. And the advantage is going to be taken by Byer. Byer quickly goes towards the forward line, the 2-on-1, went out the back door. Hogan under pressure from cross there. Burrowing in there is Hammond, who got the hand pass out to Mal Hickey. Hickey then went quickly by hand, got it across to Pearce. Pearce now switches across to O'Connor. O'Connor gets away from Barton, goes out towards Delpos. And Delpos takes it out there on some wing, out of side of the ground.
She's a good player, Delpos. She's been a great link up today.
No one on the mark, so decides to go in towards the forward line over the head there of Katie Brennan. And the hurry kick back there by the Creekers in towards the middle of the ground. Williams now looking for, no, was going to pass to Chochi, elected not to. Went by foot, went long towards the forward line. Hogan tried to trap it at the front of her feet like a soccer goalkeeper. Picked up by Cross. Cross now on the left. Oh, it's a high kick. It's a spiral, and it's away to the right, and it's a minus score. First score for Diamond Creek of the quarter as well. 3 goals, 8-26 for the Creekers. They trail Darebin 9-14-68 here on VWFL.com.au and VWFLradio.com.
So Chiera the restart for the Falcons. She's got O'Connor at left half back, but she goes short to Paxman, who has Delpos out wide. And Delpos will mark it right half back. A little short ball on the left. And she finds Callanan on the defensive 50. And Callanan goes short with a 5-metre kick that went out of bounds on the full. So it'll be a free kick out of side. And I think it's Kirby Hicks over there with the football.
And Hicks just looking for some options to present. Paul is short, and you can see her forwards are just flat. They're just barely making a charge. They're out in their feet. Here's the long kick. Paul in the pocket. Well, nearly falconed her as well. And Delpos going with her, and the ball went over the boundary line and out of bounds. We'll throw it in 45 metres out from goal, attacking the Harden Street end. Back into play. And Corrigan versus Egan. And, well, straight down the throat there of Delpos. And kick is intercepted, though, on the half-forward flank. Chance now, Bernardi was offering a lead, so was Doc Ernst. Here's the kick, and here comes Ernst. The Doc dropped it, had to go back and get it again. Hand pass virtually into Delpos. It goes across to teammate in Hogan, who pumped it in long, out in the direction there of Callanan, up against the boundary line. They've got players on a hammer, including Corrigan, fighting and scrapping for it, but the ball will go over the boundary line and out of bounds. 55-65 metres out from the Diamond Creek goal.
And the ball comes back into play. Corrigan the front spot, but it carries the pack. Chochi did some ruck work. Ended up busting her way through his Corrigan. Goes on the right foot to the top of the goal square, but sticking the elbow in the back was O'Connor. And that's not a push in the back. Smart footy. She takes the mark last line, kicks out very, very wide in search of Wood, who gathers it, wheels around. Oh, handball from Florence was blocked, and blocked very well by Byer, and then the ball hits the ground. And the umpire says, I'm happy to bounce that because there's plenty laying on top of this, and it's definitely not coming out. 35 out from the Creekers attacking goal. And
there's Egan, nearly taken by Hetherington, then Chiera, put it in the direction of Brennan, and Brennan takes the mark.
She's hurt herself.
Yeah, I think she did.
She's cramped.
He's got it across to Paxman, and Paxman goes up the line towards the foot racer. Simpson out there, but Dillon's there first. Simpson caught her, tries to roll her over the boundary line, and it will go over now, and we'll call for a ball in. There's, Brennan comes off, just cramping up a bit. So the trainers will seek to attention her. As the crowd starts leaving here at Coburg City Oval, they know the game's on toast. As it's thrown back into play. Etherington up there, now Paxman trying to come through. In fact, it was Corrigan rather.
Where's Audley's head? It's on the ground, rolling around, it just got knocked off.
There's Ashby. Must be used to it.
She's still going.
Trying to get a hand pass out there. Now to O'Connor. O'Connor on the right. Oh, look at that. In towards the forward line. Lang.
That's a risky take. I mean, Barden was her direct opponent. She moved off, hoping that her players would win the stoppage, and it wasn't the case. And their little handball off.
to O'Connor, who tries to do the big wind up over the head. Or Dylan dropped it out the back, has to go back and get it again, and gets caught. Hand pass away in the nick of time. In comes Wood for support, but there was plenty of numbers back there for the Creekers. The kick is long and it's high. Playing across there, Saxon couldn't quite get it. Now the ball's on the ground, trying to kick it in front of herself. Was unsuccessful. Plenty of numbers back there. Trying to spin around and get the hand pass is Hickey. Now across to O'Day, and guess what? A raffle of 3 Creekers players. Take your pick.
So at half-back, the Creekers a chance to just restore some pride late in this one. As the ball goes wide and looking for Corrigan, it was knocked away by Hickey. Corrigan decided to bust through a pack and then kicked it on the right into the centre of the ground where Hicks couldn't trap it. Now Florence on the right peg for the Falcons to O'Connor, who took the mark centre field. Chochi on the mark. O'Connor goes quickly out wide. It will slice the kick. It's a bouncing footy for Delpos, who's a natural left footer. In fact, it was Pearce. She gets the handball defensively out the back there towards Callanan, who got it back to Pearce. Now Pearce takes a bounce, goes back to Florence, and then Florence kicks it over the top because they're all ball watching, and finds Callanan, who started to play initially.
She has the ball centre wing, eastern side of the ground. Decides to go on the right, hugging towards the boundary line, and it will eventually go over the boundary line and out of bounds. Katie Lembeski, as we count down to the final siren. What a story it's been for Darebin. I mean, this is going to be their 28th win in a row, I think it is, and they've literally 2 seasons back-to-back undefeated.
Yeah, a real juggernaut. Going back to their true to form sort of days from in the past when they just won everything and beat everyone in front of them and won 5 flags in a row. Well, I think we're at the start of that era again. Another flag for Darebin, and it's just a testament to their class and the structures in place around that club, and the players like Pierce, Paxman, Hickey, all these players that are just a different class to everyone else and the best in Australia.
So the ball's at half back for the Creekers, and they work into the centre of the ground where Barden takes the mark. Plenty running forward here. Byers in the front position. Ernst, the bounce just evaded her. It's been one of those days. Ernst, though, she went back and tried hard again, as she's done all afternoon. Busting her way onto it is Lamb. Deserves a goal and misses away to the left, unfortunately. But some good attacking play there from the Creekers. They got it rolling forward. They spread well. Just the minor score. So it edges the margin back to 42 points. But it's been all the Falcons.
So 3-9-27 Diamond Creek, 9-15-69 is Darebin on the Cotton scoreboard. A kick out from Hammond towards the back pocket.
I'm loving those boots, Pete.
Yep, that's why you can spot out O'Connor quite easily. You can turn, we could still be playing here at midnight with no lights on, but you'd know O'Connor is still running around. Her kick going long to try and find Privatelli, came out of her hands and went over the boundary line and out of bounds. 65 metres out from goal. Darebin today, when you talk about their performance, I wouldn't call it impressive. I just call it workmanlike. They did what they needed to do, and for Diamond Creek, they just couldn't execute when they needed to. And Diamond Creek just get the chocolates. Yeah. Apparently, Darebin get the chocolates.
Well, we've got to mention that because Anna Harrington came up to the box 3/4 time and said she couldn't believe how scrappy it's been, and it has been a scrappy affair.
It has.
It hasn't been a huge spectacle that we're used to out here at the VWFL Premier Division, because these players are all class. But that's what the pressure does, as the Creekers look to come back inside their attacking zone. Byer off the deck, kicked it defensively to Haynes, who busted her way through and gathered the footy and kicked on the right towards the top of the goal square. Ernst might have got one in the back, and O'Connor's been trying to do that all afternoon, and I think Ernst might be letting you know about it. O'Connor's certainly met a bit of a match in Tiana Ernst.
She had a fantastic game, hasn't she? I'm hoping she can go back and kick this one. I think she deserves that one at least. Diamond Creek keen to go out fighting, and I think they will at the minute.
I think Ernst, O'Connor might be saying, kick it left. So Ernst lines it up, slow approach. She's got an awkward kicking style, but she is a ruck woman. She comes in, beautiful kick, bent knee, but that'll do. Straight through the middle, kicks the goal.
No doubt.
And she deserved that goal. As you said, Katie, Tiana Ernst gets the goal. 4-9-33 to Diamond Creek. They trail Darebin 9-15-69, closing stages of the VWFL Premier Division Grand Final.
Well, mentioning how scrappy it was, Anna Harrington obviously coming up here and mentioning that, I think it's a testament to what Diamond Creek have done, wanting to really fight Darebin, really take it up to Darebin, not give them the time to use the ball. I think that sort of contributed to it a bit more, but in certain stages, Darebin have just gotten away.
Now the ball taken out in the middle by O'Day, who put her on the right boot, out towards the centre wing. Bouncing ball, trying to run onto it there is Lawson Tavern, and she gets to it, puts on the afterburners, get rid of Hicks. Then he puts it in towards the forward line. Brennan had one dry to the cherry as she spun around, dropped it, and now taken away is Hetherington. Oh, it was too hot for her. Trying to do a slips catch on it. In goes Paxman laying a tackle. Kick went straight and up and down in the air. Received by Pearce. Pearce delivers short. And guess who, lining up the goal from directly in front, about 20 metres out from goal, is Katie Brennan, looking for her, I think, fourth.
It hasn't been the goals for Brennan either that's been the highlight. I mean, she'll be kicking her fourth here, you would suspect, but in previous games against the better side, she's gone missing at times around the ground, but today she's been everywhere. She's brought the A game today. There's no doubt about that, and I think that's why she might get the best player award, not just for the goals, but more evidently for that work up the ground and being that link-up player.
Brennan, 20 metres out, directly in front, has a stab at it, thinks she's got it. That's goal number 4 for her. 10-15, 75, Darebin, Diamond Creek, 4-9, 35. 40 points the difference here on VWFLradio.com and VWFL.com.au. If you've just joined us, last week in Division 5, it was Seaford over Kew. It was in Division 4, it was Montmorency over Golden Point. Division 3, Anna Harrington's Wyndham Vale Falcons won a 5-point thriller against the Whitehorse Colts. Earlier today in Division 1, St Kilda smashed Melbourne Uni, and then North Geelong beat Seaford by 1 point in Division 2.
So ball tossed back up, of course announcing those divisions in opposite order because we're announcing them in playing time order. Division 2, of course, the second game today, and Division 1 was the first game, with Premier Division the dessert. As the ball has come forward now for Diamond Creek, and a chance here at goal. It's wobbled on through, and I think that might be Charlotte Dillon, is it? Or is it Adard? Smith, Caitlin Smith. Gee, she's played well today, Caitlin Smith. They all look the same. Caitlin Smith, Adard, and Charlotte Dillon. All look the same. They're all about 5'5" and the long, dark ponytail, but geez, great goal, great pace. And a little bit of a consolation there for the Creekers. They edge it back to a 36-point lead.
That's some of the goals, Katie, that Diamond Creek kicked against Melbourne Uni last week, and they just haven't been able to do the same thing this week.
Yeah, just that source of goals has really dried up, and obviously against a really class above team like Darebin, you have to work extra hard for your goals, and it just hasn't worked out for him today either.
So ball now on the forward line for Darebin, is trying to go in there with Steph Simpson, overran it, in goes Brennan as well. Audley watches on, and the umpire calls for a ball up. 50 metres out from the Darebin goal, heading to the Bell Street end of the ground. 75 plays 39. Lead in favour of Darebin, nearing the full-time siren. O'Connor won it. Oh, Audley tried to get a kick away, got ripped off the football, and the umpire said it's sling, and that means it will be a free kick going the way of Shay Audley. Shazwa now gets on the right boot, goes out towards Hetherington, who dropped it. Well, I should unfriend her on Facebook for that, as the umpire comes in to call the ball up. One of those unusual things during the week, you get a random Facebook request, was by Tanya Hetherington. That's an unfriend-worthy disposal there. You drop when you should have easily marked it.
Oh, she's been terrific, Pete. I'd keep her on the list. She's a star of the comp. Ball goes out wide. Chochi handballing to herself. Oh, class. Got it back. Little kick goes up towards the previous goal kicker in Caitlin Smith, but it's stolen away by Hammond, who was then bustled into by Corrigan. It was Chiera over there on the line. Now Lang has the footy, little handball inboard to Ashby. She gets a handball away to O'Connor, who loads it up, pushed as she kicked towards full forward, where Vasio takes the mark. Probably too far out to score in the end. The ball fell short into the wind. She's 40 out, kicks towards the pocket. Flying up over the back trying to take the mark was Paxman in the shadows that have been cast over the afternoon sun. Coming over from the pool down here at Coburg City Oval. Brennan, top of the goal square, had it, needs to wheel around on the left, does. Kick it goal, held up in the breeze, it's short. Going back there was Privatelli. She couldn't take the mark, and the Creekers clear away.
And that's what they do towards the half-back flank on the outer side of the ground. Go for a run, Nicole Paul, and she gets on the left, going long towards the centre wing position. Got away from Saxton. Ashby going out there in the foot race. Mel Hickey there as well for support. Ashby got it, then got claimed, and the umpire said too high. Surprised by that against Kirby Hicks.
It was a coat hanger. Surprised. Stuck her head off.
Let it go. This late, let it go. As the kick is taken close towards the boundary line, and So Mark taking O'Day, comes back inboard. Over the head there by Hickey is there lurking nearby, picked up by Pearce. Pearce got the hand pass before she got mown down, and laying on a tackle there is Chochi. Does well, ragdoll somebody. Thanks for coming through. Chochi goes again, hand pass to Barton, who quickly got it across to Lamb. Lamb goes up the line, Mark being taken there by Kennedy. The Kennedy now get on the right boot, goes long towards the forward line. Ernst got caught from behind, sprawled against Egan, gave up the hand pass to Hogan.
Hogan very wide, good kick in the end, finds Elise O'Day, who might be in the running for the medal. She's had plenty of it. Out wide to O'Connor in the orange boots. She goes on the right peg up towards the wing, but coming out to take the mark is Charlotte Dillon. She goes up towards half forward, only as far as Hickey, who caught one in the back. Umpire wasn't interested. Hickey shoveled it out to O'Day, who kicked it into row 50. Just kicked it at a right angle and almost kicked it out of the ground. I'm
going to set a task for you after the presentations today for our interview, post-match interview. Let's see if we can get Julie Chiera, who of course is also the president at the Darebin Football Club, and she's running around wearing the 51 today. As the kick is now in towards the Diamond Creek forward line. Chochi tries to pick it up, shrugged off Hogan, but ran out of space and nearly ran over the boundary line. She was going so far she could have put the football into recycling. And the umpire says, you better give it back to me so I can throw it back into play. And that's what he does. And Egan wins out in the contest. Hurry little kick off the ground. Oh, it's on the carpet here. Here's an opportunity for Diamond Creek. Lamb comes through again and gets it.
It just shows you, Pete, this quarter feels like it's gone forever. There was plenty of time at the start of this last quarter for Diamond Creek to get back into it, but they just didn't seem like the mojo was there. There was no fire that they had at the start of the second, was there, Katie? They just sort of flat. Yeah,
I think this they just started to wilt. I think really playing on the defence at times. There it is.
The final scores here on VWFL.com.au and VWFLradio.com in the Cottons VWFL Premier Division Grand Final. 10-15-75 Darebin defeating Diamond Creek 6-9-45. That's 25 scoring shots to 15. A 30-point victory. Extraordinary. 2 seasons in a row. Darebin undefeated.
Yeah, well, great effort from the Falcons. They were challenged in that second quarter. They were put right under pressure. They managed to get the margin out beyond the 5 goals in the third quarter, or it might have been spot on 5 goals, and that was the magic number. The magic number was to get the 5-goal lead, and it was enough. And it played on the mind of the Creekers, who, unbeknownst to them perhaps, they were still in the game.
It was amazing.
They just couldn't come back.
At the third quarter, the first couple of minutes, Diamond Creek were pressing. They chipped into the lead by 1 point. They brought it back to 7 points, the difference. And we thought, oh, gee, and there was 2 or 3 opportunities for a shot at goal. We thought, oh, if they put this through, it's a 1-point ball game, and it's on. And the ability for Darebin, who could have easily fallen to pieces then under that pressure, but to turn the screws around and then inflict the damage on Diamond Creek, just goes to their professionalism.
Absolutely, and Katie highlighted that all throughout the day, and even in the pre-game, it's all about the professionalism, and that's why you can keep winning, and that's why you can win 28 in a row.
Yeah, absolutely. Just their day, they can't be denied. I think people sort of take the success for granted. People sort of get bored with winning, but this team, it's just remarkable, even by the numbers. You know what? No matter where you look at it, you can't deny Darebin their moment. You can't deny how good a side Darebin are. The best, head and shoulders above the rest, and it's now up to everyone else, up to the chasing pack to lift their game, to lift their standards, and to challenge the Darebin supremacy. So I think congratulations to Darebin. Great effort and fully well deserved.
I think there's one word that separates Darebin from the rest of the competition, the other sides. That word is consistency. And it's consistency about what they do on the park week in, week out. Sometimes it may not be flashy, as we saw today. It was the little chips up the ground every now and again, that clear possession. There's been many sides. There has been the Diamond Creeks, there's been the Melbourne Unis that have challenged them for a quarter. Have challenged it, took it up to them, but they haven't been able to be consistent all the way through the match. And I guess that's what Darebin is. Even when they're under pressure for a few minutes, they still know how to quickly get control of the game and turn it back around again.
Yeah, absolutely. Sometimes you need to make it ugly. Sometimes you need to fight through pressure. Sometimes you need to fight through poor form, and they can do that without any blip on the radar, without any sort of blip in results, and that's just, I think that's the biggest tribute to them. That's their biggest hallmark of the last 2 years, and as a result, they're going to lift up their second Premiership Cup in 2 years.
For Diamond Creek, you got to feel for them, as we said, for Darebin to turn it around. For the Creekers, they're going to sit back, they're going to be watching this tape, listening to this commentary, they're going to be seeing the opening bits of that third quarter thinking, we came out on the blocks, we were a chance to really put them under pressure, and then I guess they'll be scratching their head looking at the next 10 minutes after that going, what did we do wrong? What went wrong? Because essentially you can write off the rest of the third quarter, the last 5 to 10 minutes, you could write off the final quarter. They'll be looking specifically at that 10-minute window, from probably about the 5-minute mark to the 15-minute mark of the third quarter, saying, what went wrong there?
But the more disappointing thing for me, Pete, is that in the last quarter, they weren't out of it at the start of the last quarter, but they just came out and they didn't believe they could win. And they could. I mean, they've got class and quality all across the ground. A lot of their middle-of-the-road players in that middle block hadn't really come into the game, even in that second quarter when they looked good. It was sort of left to a few, but that was their time to pounce, and that was their time to really break the game open, but there was just no belief that they could do it.
Yeah, it's an interesting...
Both sides, Darebin and Diamond Creek, a wonderful game of football, and also a fantastic season by both clubs, so congratulations to both clubs on a wonderful effort and a great game of football here today. I'd now like to invite AFL Victoria Umpire Development Manager Neville Nash to present each umpire with a grand final medal. Please welcome up the boundary umpires Jeremy King and Bradley Johnson. Our goal umpires Joe Robinson and Stacey Burke. We invite Stacey Burke to remain on stage to present the Stacey Burke medal to our field umpires. Field umpires James Ringmaid, Natalie Pace and Caitlin Gilmore. Our umpires, ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for all the umpires who come to today's grand final. It's now my pleasure to welcome Lisa Hardeman to the stage to present the Lisa Hardeman Medal to the player who judged best on ground in today's grand final. The Lisa Hardeman Medalist for 2014. Darebin number 6, Daisy Pearce. Creek at Grand Barton. Thoroughly professional. I love the way you direct traffic, what you do visually and mentally out the ground is as impressive as what you do physically. Well done. Congratulations. To our girls, you know, what we lack in a little bit of skill and a little bit of finesse is all inside us and in our heads and our hearts. I know we'll regroup. You're a ripping bunch of girls. Love all of you. It's been a ripping ride. It's going to be a sad night, but we just regroup next year and on we go again. And we know, no doubt, where we're going to close the gap, so it's just a matter of whether we're prepared to put the hard work in to close that gap. So thanks to Daran, who's come on board, Daran Flanagan. You've done a fantastic job, and I know you'll take women's footy where it needs to go. And I'd especially like to thank Aaron, my assistant who's come on board this year, has been a tremendous help, and to our president, Doggy, and to our girls who sit on committee. Thank you very much. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, coach of Diamond Creek, a wonderful football club and a wonderful team today, a great performance. It's now my pleasure to invite the General Manager of AFL Victoria, Grant Williams, to present a premiership medal to each of our players and the coach. Thank you, Grant. Ladies and gentlemen, Premier Division champions, Darebin Football Club. Number 4, Karen Paxman. Number 9, Sarah Heaven. Number 10, Genevieve Lawson-Brown. Number 11, Kate Tyndall. Number 12, Jessica Delpos. Number 14, Natalie Wood. Number 16, Katie Brennan. Number 17, Stephanie Simpson. Number 18, Melissa Hickey. Number 24, Darcy Vesio. Number 25, Jane Lang. Number 27, Siobhan Hogan. Number 30, Elise O'Day. Number 32, Rebecca Privatelli. Number 34, Shannon Egan. Number 35, Nicole Callanan. Number 41, Astor O'Connor. Number 49, Shani DeMuro. Number 51, Julia Tierra. Number 58, Helen Florence. Number 62, Tracy Ashby. Number 6, the captain, Daisy Pierce. The coach, Richard Delpos. Now, ladies and gentlemen, to speak on behalf of the Premier's Darebin Football Club, please welcome the captain and the coach, Daisy and Richard.
Thank you. First of all, to the umpires, thank you very much. Great, I thought you did a great job today. Thank you very much. To everybody out here, thanks for coming. It's great to hear a cheer at a game of women's footy. It's fantastic. To Grant and the girls at Dymo, again, you bought your game again today, and we went in at half-time and we had to rejig a few things. You've done that all year. We've got a great deal of respect for you. We'll see you again next year. Well done today. It's a great year. To my girls, you know, these things don't happen overnight. As Grant said, you work hard, you go away, you work hard and hard. You're a credit to yourself and your jumper. I think it's 9 straight grand finals some of these girls have played in. These phenomenal. Lots of respect, especially from me. I think you're fantastic. Well done today.
Richo said most of it, but I'd just like to say a big thanks to Grant Williams from AFL Victoria for coming down today, and also in the first season with AFL Vic, just a great year, and we certainly noticed the professionalism and everything go up. So thanks to AFL Victoria for coming along today, and also the year and the future that we've got with women's footy. And like Richo said, to Diamond Creek, we always know we're going to get a game when we play against you guys, and your heart and the endeavour that you guys put in is something that we're just really wary of. So thanks for a great game of footy today. For everyone that came out, the weather's probably half the reason that you came down here, but it was good that you got to see a good game of women's footy as well, so thank you. And to the Darebin girls, this is my 10th season down at the club, so it is really like a family down there, and we all do the same thing. So the work we put in over pre-season and throughout the season really set today up. It's not just done out there today, so well done. I'm really proud of you, and we should all be proud of yourselves, so good work.
I'd now like to call on the Minister for Sport and Recreation, Damien Drum, to present the Cup, the Suability Premiership Cup, ladies and gentlemen, to our Premier Division, Cotton's VWFL Premiers, the Darebin Football Club.